All right, we're back.
We're here again.
It's been a while.
It has.
It's for summer too, by the way, so that's why it's been a while.
Yeah, people have been gone, and sometimes you stay at home when you're gone.
Yeah, I think, but it was so. Provide some context here on this one. We were talking about gifts for God, or the gifts God gives you for Himself, right?
And his abilities, to use for His glory.
Yes. So how this came about was just got back from vacation, hadn't seen Barney in a couple weeks, and we bump into you at the grocery store.
Yeah, that's right, Vaughn's,
and Scotty Scheffler had just won the tournament, right?
Yeah, and I didn't know that you like golf, and I just mentioned it, I think.
But it was really cool because I honestly don't keep up with golf at all. I mean, I got
no, you
don't
have
boys,
time.
I don't have time. I have no idea who's on the top of the world. And
right.
And I hadn't really known much. Same thing with NASCAR. Last time I watched NASCAR, I was Dale Earnhardt Jr. was winning, and it's just you have a family and you stop watching things.
Penske, wherever that is,
and so I didn't know Scotty Scheffler was the number one golfer in the world.
Right.
And then I started digging into him and watching his YouTube videos and all his content.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always talking about his faith in Jesus and family and all that stuff.
You're talking about a major influencer here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and he's using his platform not as an idol, but as giving glory back to God on that one.
Yeah. And he uses it as a way for people to understand that there's so much more to life than golf, especially. And even though he's so successful at it, he's winning multiple millions and he's being endorsed to the point of multiple millions. He doesn't need any more money. He's young. He's got everything he wants. And he's trying to say, it doesn't last long. Even a victory that I have, I win the biggest tournaments in the world. And he's very much sharing that. And then he brings a whole different point of view. Well, I'm not doing this for my glory. I'm doing it for the glory of God.
So cool.
Which is really unusual for high level successful people to do. That's just really unusual.
I mean, there's his predecessors at that number one spot, got in car wrecks and womanizers and
Tiger, yeah,
yeah.
And I've heard him say God before, but not in that context.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so that's really cool, and I think, and then how do you bring it back to us normal folk who just trying to grind through daily life and do something for the glory of God, right? And kind of for context too, I think it helps just kind of my journey. If we talk about I had a great year in 2024. And I'm building this startup, and then there's this long stretch of time where not a lot's happening, where that can really test my patience and my faith, but then going back going back to how it's going to be for the glory of God. It's I don't know, maybe I'm losing you on this one.
No, I don't think you're at all. I think there's a desert involved in everybody's journey.
Yeah,
and I think Scotty's is coming too. Okay. In terms of that success, he's not always going to be able to hit a golf ball like that.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have a desert coming to him too. He may get injured, you never know. But the geography in the Bible, when it talks about the desert, isn't so much about us going to Jerusalem or Palestine or the Levant and studying the details of that desert, the temperature and how lack of humidity there is. Geography in the Bible has to do with your soul. That it's an inward journey where you have your own mountaintops inwardly, and you have your valleys, and you have your deserts, and you have your sunshine.
Yeah,
it's all a metaphor for what's happening inside of you, because the ultimate thing is God wants to get you. He wants to get a hold of Scotty, and he has. Scotty's literally allowing God to use him, to glorify him, and there aren't many people that do that. And part of the reason why is they're not taught that. They don't understand from a young age that everything that they do is to the glory of God. You eat, you drink, you sleep, you do your business, you do everything you can. I was just yesterday talking to a garage door repairman in my garage, and I just heard God say, you need to evangelize this.
Oh, did you?
I just went at it, man. I said, where are you from? He goes, Tel Aviv. I go, oh, you're a Hebrew Jew. Yeah. And I said, well, I'm a Christian. And he said, why did you become a Christian? We were just going at it. And I said, well, I'm a Muslim, but that was a very violent God that my family worshipped, and I couldn't get into it because they were violent. And I said, when I heard that Jesus was a compassionate God, I ran to him, and that guy's looking at me, man. So I was just aware that's what I needed to do in that moment. Wow. And I'd do that again night and day if I could. I'm just always sensitive to it, you know?
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I think Scotty was raised by really Christians with integrity, mom and dad, the grandpas. It's a legacy kind of thing. And I think from a very young age, he's always been taught, you know what? This isn't just about you and your own narcissistic life. There's something much bigger going on here. And I think he grabbed a hold of it. And that's what he's trying to say to the world. The reason you're so miserable is because you're stuck in your own little world, you know?
Okay.
There's no smaller gift in the whole world than a person all wrapped up inside themselves. And that's what we are. We're wrapped up inside of ourselves, you know? And so it's just one of those things where God brings along instruments like that to just slap you right in the face. I mean, that's not literally, but to wake you up. How's that? To wake you up.
Wake you up.
So Scotty, I thank God for Scotty because we have Hall of Fame football players in our family. And the only thing they ever glorified was themselves.
Oh, wow.
And they're in wheelchairs now because of, you know, the CTE, you know, the chronic encephalopathy. So, you know, they have no opportunity to glorify God. This guy was one of the top 100 football players of all time. He never mentioned God and just drank like a fish.
No.
You know, so you see how different it is. And when you see a guy at that top level glorifying God and saying, look, it's all about something more, because you know what? The effects, the temporary joy and effects of this little drug I have called golf is going to wear off. And I want my kids and my wife to be intact and to nurture them. So yeah, something much bigger.
It's funny because all the Bible verses I pulled up here talking about gifts.
Yeah.
What you just said there brings, you know, that sounds like more Ecclesiastes, right?
Yeah.
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 From all the mountaintops, it's all Hevel. Is it Hevel?
What's that?
Hevel. Is that the word that they use? Or I mean, obviously
the Hebrew word.
Yeah, the meaningless.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just and what that is it's that's called in our modern world. That's called nihilism.
Yeah.
You know what nihilism is?
I think you touched on it.
Yeah, it's just feeling that these kids have now pervasive, whether so depressed, whether almost suicidal ideation, because they don't feel like there's any meaning or purpose to their life. So why should I get married? Why should I have kids?
Yeah. I
just, you know, I don't have any meaning. It's called nihilism, and it's really powerful. It's a philosophy, you know. And so what Ecclesiastes was saying, and the preacher or the author of it was saying was, no matter how much I get, it's not gonna fill me. It's not gonna meet my needs.
Yeah.
You know.
Only God can do that.
Yeah, exactly. And we say that as a platitude almost, but that's the most real thing that exists, because you eat a good meal and you're going to get heartburn or a coma from it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Well, how about some of these Bible verses that I did plan on talking about?
Yeah.
Where it's, you know, 1 Corinthians 12, 4-7. So
yeah,
talk about, you know, because this one too, like getting back to kind of my story and trying not in comparison to Scotty, but like, you know, there's times in the desert where like you're trying to figure out, okay, how can I glorify God best? What am I here to do? What are my gifts? Like people you can go out and take these tests. Like, what are your spiritual gifts? You know, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, you know, I am good at encouraging people. I have strong faith, you know, and then it comes to like me doing a startup and trying to build a big pharmacy business using my background. It's like, how is that a gift, right? And that can be really confusing. That's where it's like,
oh sure,
the whole reason Kingdom Builders came about was I thought, I needed to make a Kingdom Builders, and I started getting maybe outside of my normal lane and started getting into your lane, right, which I'm not qualified to do anyways.
Well,
but it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, how do people start talking about their gifts? And I mean, it's a very thing where, I mean, you should be always trying to seek this, like what God's will is for your life through his word and everything like that.
Well, that's that idea that, well, you know, the purpose-driven life, Rick Warren, that was the number one book written, you know, of all time.
Okay.
Besides the Bible.
Yeah.
And the reason why is it talked about your purpose.
Yeah.
And he talks in there about your shape, you know, where I talked about your spiritual gift, your heart, your abilities, your personality, and your experience, how it all comes together to create this individual that can go out and get these things done and accomplished, you know. It's good stuff. I mean, I'm 73 and I still want to know what my purpose is, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I just came through a very aggressive cancer. You know, the cancer whale swallowed me. but it spit me back up on the beach recently.
Yeah.
That was a good thing.
Yeah.
I was covered with, belly guts and stuff. But there I was, and I go, well, I'm here. And I said, God, why didn't you take me home? I'm 73. I could go, And then he started listing all the reasons why I need to stay around.
Wow.
So
just like that, the garage door guy yesterday.
Yeah,
things like that, and your grandkids.
And I'm very bold with my faith.
Yeah,
as you can probably tell. And people sometimes, and I have very stubborn, strong faith. But my point is that God's keeping me around here. He doesn't take me home because He's got something for me to do.
Yeah,
and so that's true whether you're 73 just recovering from cancer, or whether you're a mom or you're a dad at home trying to raise toddlers or youngsters and get them through life. Your purpose might be right now just to be the best dad you can be.
Yeah.
But see, the thing about that is you can be a great dad and not be a Christian.
Yeah.
See, that's a little bit, the purpose of God isn't always just you being great at your roles, because your role, everybody has a role, whether they're a Christian or not. Everybody's a dad, everybody's a student, those are just roles we play, and someday they end. So the purpose of God transcends that,
I like that. I mean, because that's what most people, what I just said there a little bit ago, that was me trying to focus on my role.
Right.
That's
right.
That's
right.
what I was doing. I was like, what is
it's
my role?
Temporary.
Yeah. Okay.
Golf for Scotty, golf is temporary.
Yeah.
There'll come a time when he won't be a dad anymore, when he won't be a golfer, and he may not be a husband. His wife may pass away. What do you do then?
Mm-hmm.
You just can't stop living.
Yeah.
And so those are roles that everybody plays, whether you're Buddhist, Mormon, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. But how you play that role is what it's all about when it comes to God's purpose for your life, because that purpose transcends my role. It's bigger than my role. Yeah. Scotty was saying, God's bigger to me than golf.
Yeah.
God's bigger to me than my job. I'm not so tied up and ensconced and wrapped around and intertwined with my role that I can't respond to God. Because we can get so, especially when we're super successful at something like Scotty, that becomes your identity. I can't imagine what Tiger Woods is going through now, because his identity is no longer golf. He doesn't play golf. Whatever he does, he doesn't do very well.
Yeah.
What's his new identity is something else. But the point is that identity didn't last forever, no matter how good he was.
Yeah.
Gone. It's all meaningless.
It's all meaningless.
It's wind.
Grabbing the wind.
Yeah, it's dust in the wind, baby.
So, I mean, that's why Colossians 3:23-24 is a good one to piggyback on that.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart.
There you go.
As a working for the Lord, not for human masters.
Yeah.
Since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving.
Oh, right? Absolutely.
Right. So that maybe it's less. Oh gosh, I don't know what to say. Less focus on the role, but more on like the why.
Yeah, the end product too, because the inheritance from the Lord as a reward has a present meaning and it has a future meaning. Because when you get to heaven, God's going to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant."
Yeah.
For some of us, others are going to say, "Well, the Lord said you spent a lot more time with your business than you did me." I get that.
Yeah.
Most people do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And but I think the thing you have to realize here is whatever you do.
Yeah.
And you could also say whoever you are, you work at it you put yourself into it. And if you're not putting yourself into it with all your heart, pay attention to that.
Yeah.
That's telling you something as well.
Well, I like how you said that, because one thing I've become fascinated with, honestly, since probably 2020 and 2019 is 2020 when we started going back to church. For me, anyways, because I took like 20 years off, right?
Yeah.
And it's honestly like this continuous like self-improvement that it is the Bible that I see doing that. It is God's word.
Oh, big time.
And it is like, even if you don't even know exactly what you're supposed to be doing with your role, you can work on yourself.
Oh,
you
always
work on your faith and work on your knowledge, and your grace is going to increase as well when you do that. So.
And just even asking the questions, Lord, is this what you want me to do? I mean, He'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
See, people don't see the difference between Christ and God, and the God of Christianity is that's a personal God.
Mm-hmm.
And He's involved in the details of your life. And you ask Him, He'll tell you. And you like the signs that are there. You get these signs. I guarantee you there's signs coming up. God will say, oh, I'm around you everywhere. I'm going to show you all kinds of signs,
Mm-hmm.
Like I even had it the other day where, I mean, I'm older. I'm not, I don't have a lot of visible sin in my life anymore, Darn it. Ain't got the energy. But anyway, the Lord said to me, you got to watch your mouth.
Oh, really?
Oh, and I don't hear from the Lord like that very often. It was an intern. I mean, It wasn't like he said it verbally. I mean, audibly, but I listened to that and it stays with me. And the next 3 weeks, I'm just going, I gotta watch my mouth. Even when that driver, you cut off, use out that blanket, blah, 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 blah. And the Lord goes, you watch your mouth. Talk to your wife, watch your mouth. Wow. I actually prayed to him that he would show me areas where I need to grow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
okay. You had 73. You still need to grow.
Oh, I just can't even tell you. I'm just hungry and thirsty to find the next level with Jesus, man. I'm gonna go next level Jesus right now. Cause I know what's in there. It's just, I'm at the age where I just know there's nothing else like it.
Yeah.
I want a piece of that pie. I want more of that pie.
That's awesome. Good deal. I mean, this is kind of, it feels like, honestly, it's funny. We're here. I'm just checking the time.
Yeah.
I
know I ramble upon.
No, we got plenty of time. No, I feel like, have we talked about this plenty before? I feel like a lot of our podcasts, I always bring it back to purpose and bring it back to will of God. And,
yeah.
Obviously, it's one of those things where, maybe it's because I'm middle-aged now, and it's like, oh, I'm in midlife crisis. I got to make sure I get it right,
Oh, I still have time to adjust. I don't have much time to adjust anymore. I may be gone by the time I adjust.
Another one that pulls up is Matthew 28:19-20, where it's like this, because it's like when I talked about me getting into your lane and building kingdom builders and getting outside of my pharmacy wheelhouse that I was had put so much effort and time into. It goes back to this though. It's like this passage is not for pastors. This is for everybody. It's like we're all called to go out and make disciples, and I feel like right now my biggest disciples I'm making are my two boys.
Absolutely, right. Your family's first.
Yeah.
When it says love your neighbor as yourself, their neighbor is your family. It's the people that are closest to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had a sister that hasn't talked to me in 7 years.
Wow.
And I told the Lord, I have two sisters. One I call Tinkerbell, and the other one I call Stinkerbell.
Is this Tinkerbell?
Yes, Tinkerbell. She got real bad PTSD from trauma in our childhood.
Okay.
And she just will go off and get out of the way because your head's coming off.
Yeah.
And she just was really brutal towards the whole family 7 years ago. And she just stopped talking to everybody and told them to go F off and all their good stuff, all the beautiful stuff. And I said, well, Lord, she contacted me when I had cancer. She wanted to find out. And I thought, well, she didn't care about me when I was living. Why is she caring I'm dying? That's Stinkerbell. Anyway, she called and now we're all reconnected. And God says, you need to be a light to her and forgive her.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, you do.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
I was ready to say, bye-bye, Stinkerbell. And God said, no, not done yet.
How was her faith?
Oh, she's just F God.
Oh, she still.
Oh yeah. So well, she gets that into that raging PTSD, and God's included in that because He's the one that made it all.
Yeah.
But she doesn't get it, So, but what I'm saying is,
well, I heard a podcast this morning that was really great. I think it was by, Joey Martin. How when people are looking at the why me, why did this happen type of mentality,
right.
is there. They got to remember that this world wasn't created for them, right? And it's like if you position yourself appropriately, it'd be like, okay, if it's for God and this is all happening for His glory, then you'll have a better perception about whatever happened to you.
And what can you do redemptively? Because see, if God had a calling card, it would say, I specialize in redemption.
Okay.
I bring to life the dead things. I restore the broken things. And I set free the captives. I specialize in redemption. And I have to remember that every time I'm with people, because I am around a lot of people that I go, that's not redeemable.
No.
That person can't do that. It's just that kind of thing where you just go, at what point do I need to write people off, or do I need to bring them and show them the grace of God? No matter how bad it gets. It's like what you're going through in the desert with your business.
Yeah.
At what point, how much more of this am I going to have? Well, like when I got my cancer, God said the first thing you need to understand, it's not why me, Lord. He said, Why don't you just say, why not me?
Yeah.
And that changed my whole perspective on cancer. And I'm telling you, I was prepared to die. I knew it could go to my bone. I knew it could kill me, and it didn't.
Yeah.
So my motto was not why me, Lord, but more why not me.
Wow.
And I know that affected me because they told me that.
Wow.
And you can see where I'm at today. I mean,
yeah,
I'm still kicking, bro.
Yeah, and whenever we hang out, I literally have to remind myself that you have a bunch of drugs in you, that you're on cancer, and because you don't look sick.
I don't look it,
and you hide it well though, and you don't.
Yeah.
And nobody
makeup.
Well, it's not the makeup.
I'm just kidding.
You're not like what was me. I have cancer, and take pity on me.
And that's a gift from God, and God has given me that as a gift. Like you said, my purpose now is to be that to people.
Okay.
To say, look, get your eyes off yourself, get it onto Jesus. I'm walking through the weeds right now, the cancer weeds. I've been swallowed by the cancer whale.
Mm-hmm.
Get your eyes off yourself.
Okay.
Get your feet up.
Yeah.
Get out and start. That kind of thing.
I like that.
And I think that's helping people that are really walking through some very dark, difficult times in their lives, because that's what I was doing. And I found that in the most difficult, dark moments of my life, there was light. I was surprised by that. I really was. I hadn't walked there. But anyway.
No, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it's good stuff, bro.
All right, wrapping it up. This is one I do like to wrap up with.
Yeah.
Because I always wrap it up with this one, but
always do it.
Romans 12:6-8. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us.
Yeah.
And then it just goes on. If it's prophesying, then prophesy.
Yeah.
Anyways, this I don't know. It's help me out with this one. Close us up on just a last second advice for peeps
doing their thing with according to Romans 12.
Yeah, trying to figure out their gifts.
Hopefully you've seen what it is. Experience. Get involved in churches or relationships where you get affirmation for things that you do, and that's where you're going to find your giftings. If you're encouraging, people are going to tell you that you're an encourager. Yeah. Like if I'm like, one of the things I like to do is cook. I Jesus with a barbecue.
Okay.
And I get a lot of feedback. That's really good. So that's a gift. I want to use that for the glory of God. It sounds crazy, but anyway, housework, whatever it is, you'll know what it is that you're good at, and then you do that to the glory of God, because the gifts are different.
Yeah, I mean, in this one too, 1 Peter 4:10-11. It's kind of reiterating that, like using the gift you have to serve others, right, as faithful stewards of God's grace in various forms, right? Again, I mean, it's all kind of repetitive, and just it goes back to the gifts aren't for you
to be used.
To be used.
And the reason for that is Sean, we don't always understand it. And I was a pastor for 40 years and I saw it, but people aren't who they are as they present themselves to church. They're walking through health problems, marital problems, kid problems, and financial stuff.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's got a cush life out there. Nobody. And if they do, that's going to change tomorrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay the same.
You're either in it, you're coming out of it,
you're having a
going
exactly.
Into it, right?
It's going to happen. And the only thing that's constant in the midst of it is that I can use whatever I'm going through for God's glory. I can use my cancer treatment and journey as a way to glorify God, because people don't expect it, to see a smile on your face. And I mean it, that's it's repeatable, and it's always emphasized, because the truth is our world is a very, very hurting world, broken world, and it needs that encouragement and that lesson. There are people out there, using their gifts to say this is God's world. He's gonna bring redemption to your miserable life.
Yeah,
that's what he does. Specializes in it.
Amazing. All right, Barney.
All right, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so fun. Always fun, man.
All right, see y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.